So today we're going to be comparing different MacBook models and features. And then if you guys want, I'll tell you more about some iMacs as well. So if you prefer desktops, for example, tell you about those as well. Yeah. So should we begin? Wait, I
Sorry,
can't.
say that again, Aryan?
Should we begin?
Yeah, of course, go for
Okay,
it.
yeah, you guys can hear me clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So today we'll be comparing different MacBook models and features, and I'll be telling you about MacBooks and the differences between them and yeah, and then I'll tell you some more about the desktops as well. But yeah, okay. So let's begin. Yeah. Okay, so table content. So at first we're gonna be discussing the history of the MacBook, and then the next thing we're gonna be doing is talking about the current MacBook models, and then compatibility with like certain things. Like for example, this microphone that I'm using, some older models may not be compatible with it. And then similar devices to the MacBook. And so like alternatives, if you prefer Windows or something, then there's a Windows counterpart to that, right? Okay, so let's start. So number one is the history of the MacBook. And yes, I will talk slower than this. Don't worry. So in 2006, the first MacBook was introduced as a replacement for the iBook and the PowerBook. So like iBook G3, if you guys remember some of it. And then 2008 was the launch of the MacBook Air, the world's thinnest laptop at the time. And then in 2012, the Retina display was introduced in the MacBook Pro, um, revolutionizing screen quality. It was like one of the best like laptop screens to see at the time. And this is the 2006 MacBook, so it's pretty chunky and big. Okay. And then next slide. And then in 2020, Apple unveiled the M1 chip. So M1 is revolutionary. It shifted away from Intel processor to its own silicon. So by its own silicon, it means its own chip, like your CPU. Um, and then 2023 models include the MacBook Air M2, which is the one I use for school, and then I'm on the MacBook Pro M2 Max right now, emphasizing power and efficiency. 2024 is newest models include MacBook Air M3 and MacBook Pro M4, offering enhanced speed and efficiency, which are the ones that some of my colleagues use. So let's go for number two, the current MacBook models. So there are two MacBooks currently available for purchase. I have both, and I can walk you around both as well. The MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro, which each have pros and cons to them. Both models are great investments depending on what you're looking for. So MacBook Air is lightweight. It has an ultra thin design, and then it uses the M3 chip for efficient and fast performance. It has up to 18 hours of battery life, which I could tell you it's completely accurate because once in final exam season, I used it for 4 days without charging it. Um, Pricing starts at about like 1100 US dollars to around 1500 CAD. I ended up paying around like I think 2100 CAD for mine. It's best for casual users, students like me, and those prioritizing portability and cost effectiveness. So it's not like for mostly professionals, although it's very capable. You could probably do that as well. Um, and then the MacBook Pro is the one I use for like my programming and like coding and what I'm on right now. It has high performance M4, M4 Pro, or M4 Max chip, which is like another way of saying, okay, you know what, this is the entry level chip, this is the more advanced level chip, and then there's more advanced after that. Honestly, I don't notice too much of a difference. And then it has 120 hertz liquid retina XDR display for smoother visuals. So basically, that means it's very like fast, it's very responsive, and it's very color rich. So you get to see a lot of colors in the spectrum. Pricing starts at about 1500, 1600 US dollars or 2200 CAD. I think mine ended up being around 3100 CAD. For the 14-inch model, and then it is ideal for professionals requiring high power, advanced graphics, and versatile connectivity options. So, for example, the MacBook Air, the one I use for school, it only has two ports and like a charging port. So basically, you can connect a bunch of adapters, like thick adapters, to connect your displays and all that. But MacBook Pro has more ports, which you might find more useful depending on what you use. Okay, number three, compatibility. So one thing that sets Apple apart from its competitors is its world famous Apple ecosystem. MacBooks work seamlessly with other devices, Apple devices. If you already own an iPhone, AirPods, or iPad, then it would make sense getting a MacBook over another brand just to take advantage of the Apple ecosystem. So I have AirPods, I have a phone, I have a watch, and like I have three iPads, and all of them work seamlessly, no matter which computer, which MacBook I'm using, no matter which phone I'm using, it's all in there. Okay, so PC compatibility. Okay, so while it is not as easy to share files to non-Apple devices with a MacBook, it is still fairly simple. You can use cloud storage services like iCloud, Google Drive, Dropbox, or OneDrive, which are all like cloud storage solutions. I think we did a webinar on it, or we could do it later, to easily share files between macOS and Windows. You can also set up shared folders via Wi-Fi networks to transfer files between MacBook and PC. Although I never had to do that. I just AirDrop. Um, and then yeah, similar devices. So for example, if you don't like the Apple ecosystem, let's say you already have an Android phone, Android tablet, maybe like you just prefer Windows. A lot of business professionals, they have iPhones, but they just prefer Windows over Mac. So there's a lot of other alternatives, like premium alternatives to MacBooks. So then there's the MacBook Air versus the Dell XPS 13. I've used that device. It's really good. So M3 chip perform outpaces the Intel Core i7, which the Windows laptop has, the one that's comparing it to, for energy and for efficiency, but both are just as powerful for everyday tasks. So I wouldn't really worry about that too much. So the MacBook Air is thinner and lighter. The Dell XPS features a virtually superior Infinity Edge display. I think it's like you won't really notice the difference. I've used it. It doesn't like look too different to me. A MacBook Air lasts up to 18 hours, while the Dell XPS offers around 12 hours. By the way, for Windows, it's really good. For a Windows laptop, 12 hours is amazing. Because it has a bunch of other things going. My old Windows laptop only lasted for 3 hours, so it was kind of weird. Okay, so the MacBook Pro versus the Microsoft Surface Laptop Studio. So this is the laptop my dad has, and then on the right, this is the laptop that I have. So M4 Max chips outperform Surface's Intel Core i7 and NVIDIA RTX graphics in creative workflows such as Adobe Premiere and Final Cut Pro. So again, this is for like people that have filmography as a passion. They love recording videos, editing videos, right? And then display. So MacBook Pro offers a Liquid Retina XDR display with 120 hertz. Although I know all this sounds confusing. Um, it just like referring to how bright the screen gets and how responsive it is. And then while the Surface had high resolution pixel sense touchscreens, like if you like touching instead of like typing and using your trackpad, because no MacBooks are ever touchscreen. So if you want a touchscreen laptop, you should definitely get the Surface Pro.